We're getting very close to finding out who's going to be the world champion at the Drone Champions League for 2025. We're into our Hawk Cup, the third part of this season. I'm Matt Andrews, and welcome to the next stage of battles. It's time for the quarterfinals. After the seeding race last week, two teams got a bye in the first round, the wildcard team and Raiden Racing. So they're coming today against Phoenix and SDT. It's that classic rivalry again. So here's our first race of the three between the wildcard team and Phoenix Racing, with the Bob and Gilbert against It's D and Birkin. Away we go for the climb and the rise, and in the rooftop race around Rapperswil Castle, weaving our way left around this pylon to drop three block tray gates. The middle one is a split S, as you just saw the Bob chasing Birkin through. All pilots within 0.4 of a second. Nice strong start from everybody. It's Phoenix Racing in the light blue. It's the wildcard team in red and in third and fourth place at the moment as they go down the spine to start lap number 2 back to these difficult rooftop rings. Birkin just ahead of It's D by about 1/10 of a second. The teammates from Phoenix Racing off to a strong start here. Gilbert very much still in contention. The new British champion, by the way, Gilbert. And the Bob now is out of the picture as he's over 6 seconds behind. He's been such a great performer for the wildcard team. Brilliant pickup by them, but it doesn't look like he's going to be featuring very highly in the scoring in this first race of today. It's D out in front. Birkin has slipped a little bit. Gilbert has got past him onto this lap, but they're fighting over second and third, and It's D is out in front with nobody in front of him. This is the view of Gilbert, though, in the chase, trying to get past Birkin and trying to gain on It's D as well. And he might manage to get both of them. He's on a really good route around the insides here, but It's D hangs on the first. Gilbert gets second, then it's Birkin, and the Bob coming in fourth. So it's one of those stripy result tables, which means it's 6 points to 4 in favour of Phoenix Racing. And congratulations to It's D. I think that's his first win in the DCL. Nice job, It's D. Just briefly there at the start of the race, was right in the middle of things, but pushing to the front, slipping past his teammate on the inside there, and just as well as Gilbert also got past Birkin. Only 1/4 of a second between the top three in that last race. What about with Nemuo, Danube, Atakan and Minjay? Phoenix with the lead after the first race. Minjay off to a very good start, Danube alongside him, Atakan around there as well, and Nemuo, who's the least experienced of these four pilots. Just a little bit more to do at the back, but moves brilliantly past Minjay. I think Minjay may have touched the ground. I think he hit the block trade gate, bounced onto the ground, bounced off of the floor very quickly, and he's already managed to catch Nemuo. He's one of the very best pilots in the world. Minjay Kim from South Korea, currently in third, jostling with Danube for second place. Atakan, the other teammate for Phoenix Racing, he's the one in the lead. Look at Danube here, coming down! What a good move that was, a totally different approach for height. Danube a lot higher than Atakan. I've seen him try and use that tactic before to stay higher up and then dive down, and it worked really well for him, and out of the dive tower as well. Danube fractionally ahead of Atakan until they turned that turn onto the straight, and now Atakan is with him again. There's less than 1/10 between the two of these. Atakan versus Danube. Atakan comes down to the block tray gate. There's the split S. Now will turn hard, and Danube trying to keep with him, trying to get on the inside of him. Less than 1/10 of a second still between the two of these. Along the main route next to Lake Zurich, down through the dive tower. Danube does it really well again, but Atakan, can he hold on? He's going to get the 4 points. Danube will get the 3. You can see in the corner, Danube nearly had him and he knew it. Wow, what a finish. 0.15 of a second between Atakan and Danube, or between 4 points and 3. Here's what happened to Minjay on the split S. After he's gone over the top, he hits the bottom and bounces on the grass. That's just as well. Atakan was doing so well in front, but Danube nearly had him. And now it's going to be the DCL Big Heat, where all 8 pilots fly. And we've had such close finishes in those first 2 races. This one could go either way. We'll catch up in the middle of it with 6 pilots within half a second here on lap number 2. Danube is the one who's out in front this time, and with a bit more room between him and anybody else. Minjay 0.3 of a second behind him. Atakan around there as well. It's D and Gilbert squabbling over 4th place, which is the last of the scoring positions. It's 4, 3, 2 and 1 points respectively for the top 4 again. So Danube is doing everything he can, but the wildcard team need to get into that top 4 alongside him. Danube now leading everybody. No, he's hit the bar on the split S. Oh, it's over for the wildcard team here, as on the last turn it will be Minjay with a win ahead of Atakan. It's D. That's all of the team in blue, and you can see Danube and Gilbert in the top with rueful smiles on their faces. Danube had it, and Danube sadly lost it on that split S with only a tiny amount of the final lap to go. Minjay takes the win for Phoenix, and two of his teammates in second and third behind him as well. Wow, great battles, but Danube's going to be kicking himself over that one. Ends up being 20 points to 10 in favour of Phoenix Racing. That big heat, a lot more one-sided than we expected, but congratulations, Phoenix, the first team in the semi-finals. Well, let's see who's going to join them there. It's going to be either SDT, the Spain drone team, or Raiden Racing, with Red Sheep and Sally One against Shane and Flower Pig. Now, these two teams have been rivals for so long in the DCL, for so many years. But for a long time, Raiden were clearly the better team. STT, though, this could be the year they finally become the world champions. And the battles between these two teams are always thrilling. It's currently led by young Red Sheep, with Sally One behind him, then Shane and Flower Pig. Lap number 2, Red Sheep rises. Oh, he clips the underside of that DCL gate. That threw him completely offline, lost all of the rising up he needed to do to get to the rooftops. So he is sadly down in fourth and jostling behind Flower Pig for third place. And out in front, it's his teammate Sally One being chased by this guy, Shane, charging for Raiden Racing. Going back to the main spine here, heading towards that gate that Red Sheep just clipped. On the start of lap number 3, it's still Sally One ahead of Shane. Red Sheep has got up to third, past Flower Pig. Shane staying high around these rooftops. Is he going to do like Danube did and try and grab a lot of speed on the way down? He's still following Sally One, and Sally One is very difficult to catch, and the gap has got a little bit bigger. They don't crash into the split S like Danube did earlier. The dive tower, they both approached it quite differently. It's still Sally One by almost half a second. Then Shane, Red Sheep third, Flower Pig in fourth. All kinds of action going on there, but it was always a pilot in green at the front. For a while it was young Red Sheep, it ended up being Sally One. There's Red Sheep leading everyone so well throughout the first lap, but just getting caught on this climb. There, just on the underside as he was going through. Just rose a little bit too early. We've seen many pilots do it. Their teammates come for match number 2, Sturman and Platon Air against Vincent Mayans and IQ0. Welcome to the DCL Sturman. This is his debut race. We haven't seen him fly in the DCL, haven't seen him in any worldwide competitions with SDT. Why have they brought him in? Why have they changed the roster? Why has Ion FPV been dropped and Sturman coming in? Well, he's right in the middle of the action, right behind Platon Air, his teammate, who's absolutely brilliant. And Platon Air jostling with IQ0, taking the lead from him on the start of lap number 2. This is going to be a little bit of a trial by fire for Sturman, as he's up against such an incredible team with two brilliant pilots, Vicen Mayans in particular, one of the very best we've ever had. Now here's IQ0 trying to get the lead back from Platon, dropping down through that split S. Brilliant view there of how difficult this whole section is. The rise and fall over the ground around the trees and also the obstacles we've put in there too. Platon Air flying brilliantly, really showing us what he can do as he's 3/4 of a second ahead now. This is a much bigger lead than we've seen in races so far. And now Platon weaving through. This is still IQ0 ahead of Vicen Mayans, and Sturman down in fourth at the moment. Platon brilliantly through the dive tower, but he has just whipped away and won that so cleanly and quickly. Then IQ0, Vicen Mayans, the two pilots from Raiden, that's second and third. Sturman with a really good showing in his first ever race in the DCL. It's his teammate, young Platon Air, with a win. So good. All of these races today were being treated in the quarterfinals. Platon Air, after jostling through everybody, well out in front. IQ0, Vicen Mayans just watching him finish from quite far behind. That's a 5-all race though. That doesn't change the gap between the teams, which is still 2 points in the favour of SDT, as all 8 pilots come and get it now. We're on board with Sully One out of the start. He's chasing everybody up through the rings. There's the 180-degree turn, and that is a problem for the best pilot that they have. Sully One is far, far behind. It's Platon Air from the same team though, who's out in front, but he's got a lot of pressure coming from IQ0 as we jump on board with him, and he passes Platon. Now to the dive tower, and he pulls out of the dive too soon, and he's clipped the underside of the panels just above the exit. He goes all the way to the back. Platon Air's back out in front, and this time it's the turn of Shane from Raiden Racing. It looks like they're queuing up to try and pass Platon, and anytime anybody gets nearer, Platon's the one who's still consistently racing so well. He's in the lead. Shane putting in a massive challenge now, and Vicen Mayan's in this too, and they're only a quarter of a second behind Platon. Big pressure on his very young but very capable shoulders as he weaves his way through the rooftops. Sally 1 has got back into 4th place. That's another point for SDT, and Raiden have to outscore them by at least 2. So they've got to take this lead from Platon, and Vicen Mayans is the one who might do it. He's with Platon. Shane goes a different route to the dive tower. They all come out of the bottom of it brilliantly. It's the final turn. Who's going to take it? It's Shane! By 7/1000ths of a second, and then Platon 800ths of a second ahead of Vicen Mayans. What a finish! Held on and just scraped by Shane of Raiden Racing. Tied at the end, tied at the beginning as well. Here's Sally 1 just clipping that ring which saw him out of the contention and the craziness at the front of things. And IQ 0, oh, just too early trying to pull out of the dive tower. It's so much more difficult than it looks. And that has tied the series, which means it's a tiebreak, and every time we've had a tiebreak in 2025, it's had SDT racing in it. I don't know why they are always in these incredibly close battles, but the important thing to know is winner takes all. Whoever wins this race, it's their team into the semi-finals, and Platon Air is at the front, and it's another fight between him and Shane, and Sally 1 is around there as well as, unfortunately, IQ 0, who's been at the front a few times. He's 20 seconds behind. What a terrible start for him, so it can't be that pilot from Raiden who's going to stop SDT. Could it be Shane? Well, Sally 1 has just got past him too in the second lap. This is Sally 1's view as he's taken the lead from young Platon. Platon's right by him though, you just see him flash alongside. Now in a normal big heat, Raiden would be totally out of the scoring points except for Shane, but this is a tiebreaker. He's only got to win it, and it doesn't matter if the rest of your team are 6th, 7th and 8th as they are now. So it's all on Shane, this pilot, to try and stop Sally 1, and he's moved past him. Sally 1 flashes back across him. These two weaving round Rappersville here towards the lake to the dive tower. Different route for Shane again. He makes it work like he's done every time, and now to the finish. It's Sally 1 and Platon. Platon beats Shane by 400ths of a second at the end as well. They only needed 1, they actually got 2. What a battle again! Sally 1. He's the one who gets SDT into the semi-finals. Well, remember in the last big heat, he crashed at the beginning of it. In this one, he's fighting all the way through. That's how you shake off a previous mistake, put it out of your mind. Oh, but Shane gave him a lot to think about. It's 16 points to 15. Another classic battle between SDT and Raiden. Another tiebreak, won by the Spain Drone team. Congratulations to them. They are now into the semi-finals as well, where they will face Phoenix Racing after their 20 points to 10 win earlier. The wildcard team and Raiden Racing were the number 1 and 2 seed in this Hawk Cup. That's why they got a bye in the first round. Now they've lost one of their 2 lives each. They're going to be coming back in the rebound rounds, fighting to stay in the Hawk Cup because it's elimination time when we join you next time here at the Drone Champions League. So make sure you join us, the DCL wildcard team against Quad Force 1 and Cyclone Racing against Raiden Racing. All of that with me, Matt Andrews, and I'll see you in the skies.